Most people already know that Meghan Markle is a big fan of lying, or to try to put it in a more polite way, she's economical with the truth. When she lies and she gets caught in her lies, as so often happens, she disqualifies it by saying, "Oh, well, it's my truth. It's how I see it." I think a great example of this happened when she was engaged to Harry. She knew that soon enough she would be a member of the royal family, and reportedly she was offhand with Princess Anne, telling her, "We're all equal in this family." Later on, when Prince Edward challenged her on this idea, she told him, "Of course, I didn't say we are all equal, but that's the truth as the public sees it." But she insists that she is supposed to be called Duchess. She insists the public is moved out of her way when she goes to visit, and that restaurants should be emptied so that she can eat with her friends. That tennis courts shouldn't allow anybody to sit close to her by having their seats canceled. So how in the world can she try to tell Prince Edward that everybody is equal, and at the same time she puts herself above everybody else? Well, then she got a reply from Anne. If you want honesty, you can always rely on Anne. Anne's opinion is not going to be rose-colored, but it's going to be a real opinion of hers and no other. Princess Anne and her opinion of Meghan, is it straightforward and true? Well, nobody's going to be as straightforward as Princess Anne. Her opinion of Harry is also going to be pretty honest. As a couple, they are incredibly dangerous, and they're harmful in anybody's eyes, and I'm guessing Princess Anne would say the same. A source has claimed that Princess Anne is so angry and she beats up Meg. The source explains we should all be equal as human beings, educated or not, rich or poor. That is, we should all be able to voice an opinion, receive respect, unless we have behaved badly, and be treated with courtesy and graciousness, and be afforded the same opportunities when experience and or education prepares us. It should not be based on religion, race, or gender, or who your parents are. But we are not all equal in status or authority. Those are positions we may, if we choose, strive for, or that we earn in a fair world. There is a chain of command in every organization, and even in the family. That's what Markle can't, won't, defiantly refuses to grasp, and which she spent a lifetime kicking against no matter who those at the top may be or what position they hold. She has shown no respect for anybody. It doesn't matter where they are in the chain of command. Meghan is a perfect example of complete insubordination wherever she goes and with whomever she deals. The outcome of her unwarranted arrogance and the bad attitude that's shown by her complete disrespect, disregard, and also vile bullying that not reported was as bad as things can get, and she was guilty of it towards everybody around her. So Meghan gets in return what she puts out. She gets disrespect, she gets disregard, and she gets disliked because of who she is and everything that she does. Without any restraint, Meghan freely rambles on and tells lie after lie after lie. And at the same time, she's spending all Harry's money and all her time trying to silence the rest of the world. She yells and screams and demands respect with the most awful of language while kicking the people who graciously welcome her and have tried their best to help her. She doesn't show any courtesy to anyone except when she's going to use them for her own agenda before she dumps them without any warning. People lose their equal rights thanks to consistent bad behavior and also crime. See, prisoners do not enjoy equality, but that's because they made some mistakes in their lives. Sex workers also give up their right to respect because of their right to choose what they want to do with their lives. Meghan is the one who has made herself unequal and highly disrespected, and she doesn't deserve any gracious welcome by her consistent, aggressive, and disrespect of people from all walks of life. And really, for most of her adult life, she's been this way. Anybody who dares to get close to Meghan is going to be dragged down into that deep hole in which she lives. And my claims against Meghan are based on what people who have had the misfortune to work and live and deal with her and serve her have repeatedly said. And I do believe every word after I have observed her in interviews and podcasts. I really believe that is exactly how Meghan sees things. She just applies her own messed up view of everybody is born equal to the British, and that's why she believes that the monarchy is really just a show. It's a simple representation of status in Meghan's eyes. Meghan cannot understand that in the UK you are what you were born into, and there is no way to change that status system except with birth and death. You cannot work really to get better. Meghan cannot understand the fact that it doesn't matter what she says, what she does, whatever, her place is not going to change. And the acknowledgement of that simple fact represents a narcissistic injury in Meghan. She really grew up hearing from her parents that if she worked hard, she could be whatever she wants to be, but that's not how it works in the UK. Princess Anne is certainly the daughter of her father. She is not going to put up with fools. She saw right through Meghan at first sight. In fact, when the engagement interview was being televised, I said to my husband, "Ooh, look at that. I think there's a lot of trouble with that one." It's not often that I get that message from anybody at first sight, but when I do, I've never been wrong. It was that phony smile of Meghan's that really bothered me, and also the way that she's always looking for cameras. And her makeup completely changed for that Oprah fiasco. The whole thing was clearly a stage managed performance before the event. Now, I've been around real actors, and once upon a time I fell for a fake when I realized that he was putting on a show for me too. It was a hard lesson to learn, but still, at least I figured out what to look for. And back then, I really believed that maybe Harry would wise up, but unfortunately, now he is showing what he's been hiding inside his entire life, and he's got Meghan Markle to support him. So everything is just open for everybody to see. Harry is a petulant brat, and he's always going to be so jealous of his older brother. Really, Harry is jealous of everybody in the royal family who is more important than him. I can never forgive the gruesome twosome because they behaved unforgivably during the final 2 years of the lives of our beloved Philip and the late Queen. They are such a cruel, vindictive pair. And you know what? I'm going to give up on the king if he accepts them back in the UK. If that happens, I'm really worried about what it's going to do to his reign. If he allows Meghan and Harry back, then he needs to hand over the reins to William, or else I'm really worried about what might happen to the monarchy as a whole. And I have always believed that the late Queen had a lot of common sense and wisdom. She caught on very early to the threat to the royal family from Meghan. Her late Majesty also understood the weakness of her grandson Harry in respect of him being used by Meghan for publicity purposes. And of course, Meghan always wanted to be in on that private meeting, which, if she had been able to attend in person or through the internet, it would not have remained private at all. How could anybody believe an internet blogger could be relied upon to keep anything secret? It is simply not in Meghan's DNA to be relied upon. She's just not a dependable person. Events since that meeting have certainly borne out the truth of these sentiments. I think every time the late Queen looked at the gruesome twosome, she saw Edward and Wallis. I can just hear Meghan now. "Oh, Harry, we are going to be the modern day version of the greatest romance ever. Only we're going to win. We will rule. I'll take care of everything, don't you worry. I've got your father and brother drooling over me. That Catherine is going to run away in shame when her husband prefers me over her. Oh, yeah, right, Meghan. That was never going to happen." She would also have told him something like, "Don't worry, honey. Your father won't last much longer. I'll tire him out. And William will be deemed unfit to rule." Of course, Harry would be too scared to tell her the line of succession does not even have him third in line anymore. He's scared that he's going to lose what he believes to be the best lover in the whole world, and he should know. I mean, at least she came with a pretty long list of references. Her late Majesty, I think, saw what was going to happen. She saw the outcome would be disastrous. After all, she had already seen something very similar happen before.